everyone, it's me, Brittany Lepage, the Dahlia darling. I just wanted to thank everyone who's been buying seeds and tubers from me the last couple of days. Thank you so much. I'm so excited that you're getting tubers to try out this year from me. You're gonna love them. Anyways, my dining room area is completely covered, especially on the floor behind me, with boxes of tubers that I have pulled out of storage and have been going through. I just wanted to put this video out. If you just bought tubers off of me, I want to show you what I mean by potting up your Dahlia tubers, okay? So, some of you have already picked them up, and some people are picking them up later this week. When you get your tubers, they're going to be in a Ziploc bag or a baggie in your, in the box with some vermiculite, okay? You don't have to pot them up yet. They can stay in the box in a cool, dark place, maybe like in a cupboard or something in the box for another couple weeks, or even if you have to, you don't have anywhere to put them until the end of May. Last frost date for us is usually Victoria Day weekend. Yeah, anyways, but you have to crack open the Ziploc bag, okay? They need a little bit of airflow and stuff. If you don't crack that open, they might get moldy or something in the bag from the moisture being trapped in there. So you can do that, but I suggest you pot your tubers up mid-March, end of March, early April, in a couple weeks from now, whatever you like. I say 8 weeks before that last frost date hits. I even do it earlier than that. You can do them right now if you want. They might get a little laggy, reaching for the sun in your windowsill as they grow, because they've been started so early if you start them right now, or they might not. It is what it is. I've already got some growing. I only sell you guys the best looking tubers. I usually end up keeping the ones that don't look so good, like, let me see, this guy, yeah, I don't want to sell anything that looks like, that I question how well it's going to eye up. But I'm going to grow it, and it probably will. It's still got a little bit of squish to it. It's not completely dried out, even though it's wrinkly. I'm pretty sure I can tell where an eye is going to come out there. Like, I'm going to grow it, and everyone loves my dahlias, and like, there's nothing wrong with it, except for cosmetically. But at the same time, it has still lost a bit of moisture. I would rather give the best looking tubers to the people that I sell them to, because I want you guys to be as successful as possible, because then you're gonna love them when you get your flowers this summer, and you're gonna want more, and you're gonna be as passionate about dahlias as I am. I just know it. Anyways, so yeah, when I say potting up, okay, I'm gonna show you a trick. Okay, if you got a couple tubers, this is fine. Pot them up in here. I know some of them can be really big. I'm trying to not give out too big of ones. So you might need a bigger pot. Let me see. Do I have one I want to put in here? This guy might do well. I'll put him on his side a bit. This is where the eyes are going to come out of up here, and I want this up top. I did cut the end of this tuber off last fall because I was worried it might have some rot, so I probably cut it off to look inside and make sure it looked good. It looked good, and it stored perfectly over winter, so if there was rot, I did get rid of it. Either way, this looks great. I'm gonna put this part down to the very bottom. Making a mess. I like to cover as much of the tuber up as possible. Some people leave like the whole, this here up here is where the old stalk came out of, and there's eyes coming out here. Some people will leave that completely open and just bury the bottom. You can do that. I find you get a little more success when you cover up the neck. If you're trying to take cuttings or something from it and you want to see this part, it's still easy to just kind of brush some dirt away from it and look at it and see what you're doing later on. Anytime I have a tuber that's not eyeing up for me, I find just really covering it fully with dirt and just forgetting about it for a bit helps. That's what they need to wake up. Warmth and darkness. They don't need light yet, and they don't need a lot of water. Yes, your soil needs to have some moisture. Nothing can grow without water. You do need some moisture in it, but these guys are also prone to rot, so don't overwater. This might be a better option if you're worried about overwatering because there's holes in the bottom. This tray, which is what I use because I have so many, that's why I use this. It's basically this help save space. It doesn't have holes in the bottom, so I have to be just a little extra cautious, okay? Anyways, if you ever have a tuber that's not growing and you're about to give up on it, make sure it's completely covered, because I've had it happen before, and next thing I know, I'm getting eyes, and I'm like, oh, hey, the roots don't just come out of the bottom. You will get roots and stuff that come out from around the neck as well that will grow and form new tubers and stuff throughout the season. So it is important to have a little bit of dirt up around the neck at the beginning, and especially later when you grow it. But again, usually people leave it kind of like that. I don't know if you can see, because if they get multiple eyes that start to develop on this, they might take a cutting, cut it off, and try to make a new plant out of that cutting. Anyways, that's another topic we can cover later on. Anyways, so I have a tuber in here. I'm gonna label it. Always label it. Always label. I like to use popsicle sticks. That was shiitake. I'm really excited about these guys. These were some of my tubers that I was keeping just for myself because I loved them last year. Last year was my first time growing them. I loved them. Maybe I had some losses over winter, or I didn't get as many tubers as I wanted last fall, so I kept them for myself, and I'm gonna grow them again this year to try to multiply my stock of them even more, because like I love them and I need these guys in my life for like forever. Is it surprising that they're orange dahlias? Anyways, this is Cheese Whiz, which I did have some loss from him, so I'm really hoping I'm going to get some nice plants growing so that I have I can increase my stock, maybe even some extra shoots so I can take cuttings and increase it that way as well. And yeah, what I'll do is, also, this thing is huge. It would take a huge pot to fit this in, but I mean, it's still huge, but oh my gosh, that might be the biggest tuber I got this year, but it fits much better in this tray. But yeah, so yeah, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to water, and that might leak a bit, so I'm going to put it over here. This is one, it looks fine, but I'm hesitant to sell it because the neck is pretty thin. It's stored really well over winter, but I'm worried that that might break if I put it in a bag to sell to someone. So like I said, I keep the ones that are questionable, and I try to only sell, no, I do only sell, sorry, the best stock that I have. And but yeah, this guy I'll probably get growing perfectly well and increase my stock for next year and have more to sell next year and to spread the varieties out there to everyone else. Another thing, I throw some cinnamon on top. This is a natural antifungal and has been shown to work just as well as rooting hormones. And you know, we want our tubers to wake up and put out roots, and you know, I in my head feel like, yes, cinnamon for antifungal, that's awesome. We don't want any rot or fungus in this tray, but if it also might help stimulate the tuber to produce more roots than usual, then that's probably just going to wake up my tubers faster. That's a theory though. Don't take that as like, you know, written word. This is my theory. Anyways, and then another thing you can do too, if you want, you can cover this with saran wrap. I've tried it in the past. Some people recommend doing it. It's just to help keep the moisture in here, so you're not, until you start seeing eyes, then you take it off. That way you're not watering it constantly, because the more you water it, the higher risk that you might rot your tubers out. I'll also, obviously this would be covered with dirt, so I'm going to keep filling this up though. But I'll also spray afterwards. This guy can use some more dirt. There you go. I'm really excited for this guy. Ugh. I think I figured out the best way to store tubers. Every year I do it a little bit differently, and I get even better and better results every year. And seriously, plastic totes. Don't use cardboard boxes. I use a bigger tote than this. It's just, they're down there filled with vermiculite and I don't really want to pick them up. But just get a plastic tote like this. You put your vermiculite in. I get a bigger ones that are like short but big and wide, that you could like slide under a bed or something. And you can fit so many tubers in it. And you throw your vermiculite, your tubers in it. Don't fully put the lid on. I crack it a little bit so moisture can escape, because moisture cannot escape if it's plastic, right? And I find the cardboard boxes are wicking moisture from my tubers, and I'm getting those really wrinkly tubers that, you know, I'm worried about their viability. But man, the tubers that I had in plastic totes, cracked open just a little bit, with vermiculite, they held on to moisture really well. And so the year before, I lost all my Sylvia tubers and all of my cafe au laits. They were completely gone, my entire stock. I had to buy more last year. Grew new stock. Was so worried that they were just like maybe some varieties have a harder time storing over winter than others. So I thought that maybe these were just problematic varieties, and that it was possible I'd have to, if I wanted to keep them, I'd have to keep buying new tubers every year. But no, I kept those tubers in a plastic tote, and not only did they come out looking amazing, but they even came out already with like little eyes starting and everything. This is a cafe. This isn't the one I'm talking about, although I do see an eye. But look at that, like that's gorgeous. There's no wrinkling or anything on that. It is perfect. Oh, there's two eyes. See? My Sylvia's even had little roots started on them already. So I'm no more, I did half in plastic totes and half in cardboard boxes, and I'm not doing cardboard boxes anymore. The cardboard wicks moisture from the tubers, even in my really cool 10 degrees back room. So no more of that. Anyways, if you guys have any questions on your tubers, let me know. If you do your tubers this way, you might have to repot them. before you plant them outside in spring. They might kind of outgrow this a little bit sooner. If you put them in their own like containers like this now, which might be better, they should be fine growing in this all the way up until you plant them outside at the end of May. And also remember, you need to harden off your plants outside for a week or two before you plant them. And that just means taking them outside during the day to let them experience full-on sunshine and wind and stuff like that, the elements, and then bringing them back inside at night. You can start off slowly for maybe like a couple of hours the first day, a few more the next, and before you plant them out, they should be totally fine just being outside all day, and then bringing them in at night. And then again, May long weekends, last chance of frost, go ahead, plant them in your garden and you're good. And you got a head start on them, which means they're going to start blooming earlier for you. And once they start blooming, they bloom all the way until the end of the season when that hard frost comes in, hopefully October, November, and kills them off. Yeah, sometimes we get it in September and that sucks. You can always protect them though. That's another topic for another time. But yeah, thank you everyone.